Right now, noon, a clash in court between the Trump administration and a judge over the man mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Plus, child care advocates holding a rally at the state capitol. This is a live look at the event with what rally goers want to see. You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. Right now, the State Journal is reporting a federal judge in Madison has barred the Trump administration from deporting an international student from UW-Madison. U.S. District Judge William Conley ruled that Krish Lala Isardasani, a student from India, could not have his visa terminated. The judge also says the Trump administration could not take legal action against him as a result. The student had his visa terminated April 4th, just weeks before graduation. The judge says the Trump administration had robbed Isardasani of any due process. In the court order, Conley wrote the visa seems to have been canceled over a misdemeanor from 2024. The Madison DA never brought charges against Isardasani. He believed it would not affect his visa. Isardasani is one of 26 international students and alumni at UW-Madison whose visas have been abruptly canceled. Across the UW system, there are 40 total. Right now, a Democratic senator from Maryland is on his way to El Salvador in hopes of visiting the man mistakenly deported to that country and held in prison there. A federal judge says she's seen no evidence that the Trump administration is complying with the Supreme Court order on the case. Here's Natalie Brandt.
This is about the rule of law. This is about due process.
Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland left for El Salvador this morning, where he hopes to speak to government officials about Kilmer Abrego Garcia, mistakenly deported last month.
We are not going to stop fighting for his return until he is actually released.
Administration attorneys say they would facilitate Abrego Garcia's return as the Supreme Court ordered, but maintain it's up to El Salvador to release him. And officials say if he is returned, he will face deportation again.
If somehow he comes back and that happens, he's going to be detained and removed again.
The administration continues to say Abrego Garcia is an MS-13 gang member based on allegations from a confidential informant. His attorney and family dispute it.
Our family is torn apart during this scary time, and our children miss their dad so much.
In a separate high-profile case, CBS News was there as federal agents took green card holder and Palestinian activist Mohsen Madawi into custody during a citizenship appointment. Attorneys for the Columbia University student told CBS News that federal agents cited a rarely used law allowing deportations if the Secretary of State decides someone poses adverse foreign policy consequences for the U.S.
I want people to know that my compassion extended beyond the Palestinian people. My compassion is also for the Jewish people and for the Israelis as well.
Madawi's attorney is petitioning for his release, saying he's being punished for protected speech. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
A federal judge in Vermont has ordered the administration not to deport him or move him out of the state pending review of that case. President Trump is removing the newswire position in the press corps rotation. The move makes access to the White House much more difficult for wire services like the Associated Press. Journalists access the president by taking part in what's called the press pool, a small group of reporters that rotate access to the White House. One slot was held for wire reporters, which primarily rotated between AP, Reuters, and Bloomberg. But President Trump kicked out the AP after it continued referring to the Gulf of America as the Gulf of Mexico. The AP explained it was keeping the name Gulf of Mexico because that's what the rest of the world still calls it. Last week, a federal judge ruled the AP had to have access to the wire slot, so the Trump administration got rid of it entirely. A new slot was print was created, which means the wire services must now compete with other journalists. More local news now. A man is dead after crashing his vehicle in Janesville last night. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says the crash was reported around 11 on Newville Road near Russell Road. An investigation finds the vehicle left the road, hit a tree, and overturned. A 30-year-old man was pronounced dead at the scene. Another man was taken to the hospital with injuries. The board of local nonprofit Urban Triage is defending their founder, Brandy Grayson. This follows an investigative report on channel3000.com. That report lays out how the county's Department of Human Services approved funding for Urban Triage. The contracts were amended around the same time they were approved to include more than 6 times the original amount agreed on. The increase in spending did not go to the full county board vote. The Dane County Supervisor says he believes there is fraud and abuse.
If we do an audit of urban triage, a deep forensic audit, then we can really truly find out if this organization is operating and complying with all state, federal, and county requirements.
These granting organizations, including Dane County Department of Human Services, have not expressed any concerns about service delivery or financial management. There is a group of individuals who have waged a multi-year harassment campaign against Brandy Grayson.
Board member Dana Pelabon says she believes these statements are spreading misinformation. A sunny start to our Wednesday, but clouds will be moving in a little later on. First Warn meteorologist Savannah Brito has her certified most accurate forecast. Beautiful day to be out on the weather patio, Savannah.
Absolutely, Josh. Couldn't have said it better myself. At least we've got the sunshine and our winds that just would not stop howling the last couple of nights, finally seeing those decrease all day today. Once we get to the evening and really the overnight hours, that's when it's going to be windy again, but pretty mild, 45, can't complain. I don't have a sweatshirt or a jacket on, wearing a long sleeve dress though, so maybe want a sweatshirt this afternoon. But we're still expecting temperatures to warm up. Some of us even in the 50s already. That's more so southwest of Madison. Prairie du Chien sitting at 50 right now. Lots of sunshine still affecting those areas southwest of Madison, like Platteville. That's where this live camera shot is out over. We don't have a lot of cloud cover across the Madison area yet either. But once we get past about 2 to 3 p.m. this afternoon, that's when temperatures will warm into the 50s, but also when cloud cover will move in. That's all ahead of a really active pattern we're going to get into Thursday and Friday. Expect very breezy conditions, and then we break down 2 alert days starting really late Thursday night into Friday. That's the first round of storms that could bring some large hail to southern Wisconsin, especially west of Madison. We'll break down that other alert day and the potential second round coming up, Josh.
All right, we don't need any severe weather in these parts, that's for sure.
No, I know, and some areas could see that. The better chance is looking Friday, though.
All right, we'll see you in Maine weather. Savannah, thank you.
Good.
Happening right now, hundreds are marching to the Capitol to advocate for increased spending on child care. Our Ellie LaLiberte is live for us this afternoon. Ellie?
Yeah, Josh, as you can hear, energy really high here today. We're hearing from speakers right now, but organizers tell me about 350 people marched from the Concourse Hotel right here to the state capitol. Take a step out of the way so you can see some of those folks. They're holding signs that say kids first, families first, invest in childcare now. That's what they've been chanting as they marched down here. Now, they are asking legislatures today for $480 million from the state budget to go towards the childcare sector. Now, some of the groups here are the Wisconsin Early Childhood Association and the Head Start Association. And over the past decade, Dane County has lost from 20% to 30% of child care programs, and Rock County has lost between 30 and 40%. That's according to the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families. Now, there's also a need for more early educators in Wisconsin. All of those factors driving the folks out here today. Now, we're going to continue to hear from speakers until about 1 today, and I'll have a full report for you tonight at 6, breaking down what happened here. But for now, reporting live at the state capitol, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
All right, Ellie, we'll look for you then. Thank you. Well, the tax filing deadline has come and gone, and so far this year, the IRS says it sent out nearly 68 million refunds. The average refund amount is just over $3,000. While you may want to treat yourself, managing your income tax return to work for you can be a treat too. One way is to pay off any debt. The CEO and founder of HerMoney.com says putting return funds towards that high interest credit card debt returns it to your pocket equal to the interest rate debt. If you want to save your tax return, she says skip the regular savings account to look at other options.
The interest rate is 7 times that you'll get in a plain vanilla account.
Other options include high-yield savings accounts and certificate of deposit accounts, also known as CDs. Online banks offer high-yielding saving accounts. They offer high interest rates and typically no minimum deposit is required. CD savings accounts offer a fixed interest rate for a specific period of time. There's usually a minimum deposit and there may be a penalty for withdrawing the money. The last way you can make your tax return work for you is to invest in the market. Well, now's your chance to help donate baby and toddler essentials that'll help families across the area. News 3 Now is once again partnering with Babies and Beyond of Wisconsin for our community baby shower. The nonprofit provides free materials and supplies to pregnant women and families with children up to the age of 4. Executive Director Brenda Collins says they serve 1,300 babies a month. To help with that growing need, Babies and Beyond is looking for gently used clothing, strollers, high chairs, swings, and most importantly, larger size diapers and baby wipes. You can donate at the center located at 1922 South Stoughton Road in Madison from 9 to 4 through Friday. Still ahead for us on a Wednesday afternoon, why American Airlines is changing its Wi-Fi policy for customers, plus how much the internal review service is planning to cut its workforce by following the official tax filing deadline.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward.
Now that the official tax filing deadline for many Americans has passed, the Internal Revenue Service could be planning to cut its workforce by up to 40%. That's according to an internal memo obtained by CBS News. Sources also tell CBS News that about 20,000 IRS workers could step down through the Trump administration's deferred resignation program. Tens of thousands of federal jobs have been slashed since President Trump took office, though the courts have ordered that some workers be reinstated. Soon, some American Airlines customers will have access to free in-flight Wi-Fi. The service will launch in January 2026 for Americans Advantage Loyalty Program members in partnership with AT&T. It currently costs Americans flyers at least $10 to access Wi-Fi while flying, according to the company's website. The announcement comes after Delta and United Airlines also began offering free Wi-Fi for some flyers. And ahead of next week's NFL Draft, Snickers is teaming up with 2024 Heisman Trophy winner and top two-way player Travis Hunter for a double release, pairing its classic chocolate candy bar and ice cream bar in a 2-pack. Fans can head to the Snickers website Monday through Friday next week only to grab one of the limited time 2-packs. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's a look at the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is down 246, NASDAQ down 357, and the S&P 500 down this hour 69. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. U.S. retail sales surged last month. The latest report from the Commerce Department shows spending at U.S. retailers rose 1.4% in March from April. That is the highest monthly gain since January 2023. Economists believe President Trump's trade war has unsettled Americans in recent months, and it's having an effect on people's purchasing behavior. They say Americans likely raced to stores in March for big-ticket items that could see big price jumps because of Trump's import taxes. Economists think the retail sales boost could happen again this month, but it won't last. We have today's farm numbers ahead, plus Savannah is tracking the first warn forecast, and later on Live at 4, a Madison cheese sculptor with the taste of the NFL draft in Green Bay next week. Here are your farm numbers. Later today on Live at 4, if you have a question or concern about your plants or garden, now's the time to send us your questions via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will be here answering them during Live at 4. Again, that is tips@channel3000.com. Well, quiet weather for getting outside for now, but that will change tomorrow. First Warn meteorologist Savannah Brito has the forecast. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Josh. That's exactly the case. Today is comfortable. We will eventually see temperatures fall, though. Again, tonight it won't be quite as cool of a start tomorrow morning, but then, yeah, we settle into a breezy and a pretty stormy pattern. We're at 45 right now in Madison, 46 in Oregon, 48 in Cross Plains. Couple areas already reaching the 50s. For the most part, that's all west and also southwest of Madison. Madison, 51 currently in Platteville, 50 degrees in Boscobel. Everyone else is sitting in the mid to upper 40s. Few of us struggling to get out of the lower 40s, but everyone should achieve the mid to upper 50s later today. We have lots of sunshine still out there, but that is going to change later in the day. Winds also increase. Right now, we're only seeing gusts upwards of 5 to 10 miles per hour. A few areas like Prairie du Chien out in Iowa a little bit stronger. Those are going to move in, though, by the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. Some of us could see a gust up to 15 miles per hour, but then they increase further. We're looking at that mainly overnight into tomorrow. We've got a strong southerly wind. Eventually, you can really see those arrows pick up. We're looking at gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour. Some areas could reach closer to 35 to 40 miles per hour, though. This is a look at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and they're really going to be stagnant there, about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Then through Friday, our winds get back out of a northwesterly pattern, but then we see those storm chances increase along with the mild and breezy conditions. There's a first round where we could see some isolated large hail. That's for Madison and areas westward Thursday night into early Friday morning. There's a couple potential rounds. The second round mid to late morning, that could also pose a severe threat. The second round after that second round, Friday speaking, where large hail and isolated stronger winds are possible. That'll be Friday afternoon into the early evening, and we're really hitting areas southeast of Madison for Friday afternoon and evening specifically. We'll show where the Storm Prediction Center does have the outlooks and best chance of severe weather in a second, but show this coming in on future track too. Thursday, 4:30 p.m., temperatures really warming up. Some of us, depending on where that warm front sets up, could even see the upper 60s. Think I'll have to bump tomorrow's high up a little bit. And then we start to see some spotty showers by Thursday evening. This is 9 p.m. into the overnight hours. You see lots of oranges, reds, yellows, pockets of heavy rain, and a line of storms. I do think it'll weaken once it hits Madison and travels further east, but if the storms can hold the strength, we'd be looking at large hail and also strong winds, really hitting on the hail threat because most of these storms are going to be elevated, though, Thursday night into Friday morning. So that's the first round, getting into Madison by the early morning hours. 1 to 2 in the morning, so I'll probably have to come in early, cover these storms. And then after that, this could be that first round Friday. So now we're getting into early Friday morning. This is 6 in the morning. Potentially a couple of lingering showers and storms that are going to be with that cold front later in the day. This would be between 6 and 8 in the morning, drying up. If we're able to see some sunshine and the atmosphere destabilize again, that would put that secondary round in by Friday afternoon into the early evening. Madison, there's been no change here up through the Dells, Black River Falls, Janesville. This green color is a low risk. The threat's still there for some stronger storms, but the greatest threat is out in Decorah, Iowa and west where that yellow color is. But then we look at Friday's outlook. Madison, most of Dane County, yes, included in the low level, but really hitting areas Janesville, Watertown, and then along the lake where that best chance of severe weather is going to be Friday later in the day. If we're able to see the cold front slow down, I think they'll move that back and maybe include Madison. But if it does speed up, that would be good for us because then the threat would diminish. But Easter, also tracking some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Those should be non-severe though.
All right, Savannah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
A show-stopping dessert just in time for Easter. Not only is it easy, it'll put a smile on your face too. With Easter just days away, we're sharing a show-stopping dessert that'll grab everyone's attention. It's a rich-tasting coconut cake that starts with a supermarket shortcut and ends with lots of oohs and ahs. In fact, it's so good, it'll have your guests asking for seconds. We start by combining a package of white cake mix with some coconut milk, not cream of coconut, a bit of oil, and a few eggs. After the batter is smooth, we pour it into a couple of 8-inch cake pans. Then we bake these until the centers are set, which takes about a half an hour. While they bake and cool, we make a vanilla buttercream by beating together some butter, coconut milk, vanilla, and a good amount of powdered sugar. After the cakes cool, We top one of the layers with our buttercream, then place the second layer on top and frost the whole thing with the rest of the buttercream. To finish it off, we cover with coconut before decorating it. You can use jelly beans, bunnies, or whatever you have that's fun and festive. To get the recipe for our ultimate coconut cake, all you need to do is hop on our website. Imagine this as the centerpiece of your table. I'm Howard with Kelly, who loves the holidays. And today we found a very hoppy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Delicious.
Thanks for joining us today at noon. We're back with more on Live at 4.